one more spot though, because to me, the person we have one more spot at number 11, to me, he's on another planet. Maybe it's just his career he's put in. Maybe it's his championship pedigree. But we have Kevin Love coming at number 11. He was actually tied with Jaren Jackson Jr. in our rankings, but he won the ultimate tiebreaker. So low for a guy of his pedigree, like his career, his longevity. He still puts up the great 17 and 8 points, 17 and 8 every single year. He doesn't need to be that star player. I think he just gets overshadowed in Cleveland because they're not a winning team and they have all these young players.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and even admittedly, this is a guy you had in your top 10, and probably most people do. If anything, it's my fault. He's outside of it because I actually had him ranked under Jaren Jackson at the 13th spot, and I do have someone else ahead of
Don't
him,
worry, Kevin, I gotcha.
which some people could argue is probably not a better overall player than Kevin Love, but again, based on the year that I think is to come, might do a bit better. But yeah, Kevin Love at this position. I mean, if you said who just as a player is better, he's probably actually one of the best players all around. This is a guy who, no matter what team he's on, he finds his role, he knows it, and he develops into it. Like I believe I was speaking to you the other day. There was an interview I seen with Kevin Love where he talked about how different the transition in Cleveland was with LeBron and Kyrie because growing up he always learned to start playing from the inside out where he would get his game, he'd be down low, hit a couple easy shots, whatever, get the rhythm.
Move outwards.
Exactly. Versus when he went to Cleveland right away, it was shoot the corner, hit your three, get that in. And it was weird to him. And we obviously saw him drop a bit in production where some people, like you said, might have lost their respect for him as a high level player. But I mean, this is a guy who can do more than just score and rebound as well. Still one of the best rebounders in the league, let alone at his position. A guy who has the ability to put up 20 and 10 in any year. A guy who could shoot the free throw 80%, 85% any year. He shot 85%
90%.
last year. Exactly. 3 point could shoot anywhere between 38 to 40 any year as well. He can
Going
pass
back
the
to
ball.
rebounding, he was on a team with Andre Drummond and Tristan Thompson, and he still put up 10 rebounds per game.
Yeah, just under 9.8. So, and
Like, he's not even playing center.
no, exactly. And it's just he's great at boxing out. That's one thing Kevin Love is probably one of the best at in the league. He's a great at boxing out. Just fundamentally, like I said, Kevin Love is just so good. There's so little that Kevin Love doesn't understand about the game of basketball, and that's why it's a shame he's so low. It's
He
really
plays it the way it should be played. He's
yeah,
such a professional.
exactly. It's really just, I think, the fact also that he's at the point where he's coming out of his prime, and the year he had last year, we're probably going to see reminiscent of, versus all of the guys ahead of him. They're pretty much 20 and 10, if not more guys, and that's just what.
He's still 18 and 10, but he does everything else right.
Yeah,
That's what gets me on for Kevin Love. He does everything right, the way it should be done. He's
definitely.
the Chris Paul of power forwards.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree with every argument there. I completely take the blame for him being outside of it because I could say nothing but good things for Kevin Love. And there's some bad things that could be said about some other players. It's really just the fact of the role that they're going to be on with the team. Like you said, Kevin Love is kind of in that more leadership role where, you know what, we might even see him go down to 15 points in something this year because he's playing second fiddle not only to Drummond, but Colin Sexton coming up, a core of
He'll give up those shots for the betterment of the team.
exactly versus a lot of other players who won't, where it makes them look better and it might
Blake
get
Griffin,
yeah, and it might
like
get.
we're talking to you.
Well, I'm more referring to the guy who we're gonna speak next to on this list, where most people would argue as a player, again, even myself, career-wise, Kevin Love is a much better player than the guy we have next.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. The next person we had